It's on.
Oh, if you got to the prophets, you had to take your test because I didn't want anybody to go through this information because I'm no professional. All that happened was I'm a dumb Catholic boy. Got put out of work, got in a car accident, had to read some books. Ran across this one. Trials and Tribulation by Desmond Birch or something like that. Yeah, Desmond A. Birch. Well, all that did was refresh my memory with all the stigmatas I read about their biographies, you know, the most perfect. And this guy apparently put all their prophecies about the latter days in this book, and I was going, holy crap, it's all in one book. And so I read a bunch of it, and before I knew it, I realized, oh my God, they're talking about, the prophets are talking about the latter days in the Bible, in the prophets. And so everybody started lying, and I couldn't understand why everybody was lying, so I kept asking questions. Nobody would answer me, so I had to go do my own due diligence. So I tried to simplify it to make it simple for everybody, and I ended up back at the Bible, where I should have been in the first place. And the only thing I didn't read for 56 years, I finally read, and oh, the light bulb comes on. And so I made this book, but I'm hoping people don't go crazy and do anything wrong, because murder's wrong, and we're Christians. And instead of dividing Christians, we should be coming together, because this is no time to be shunning a brother because the staff of grace has been broken. And I'm going to prove that, because that's why all this is happening, and that's why I'm going to read you this book. But you got to make up your own mind about this. I'm going to start off with Isaiah. Isaiah 1:17. Learn to do good, seek justice, correct oppression, defend the fatherless, plead for the widow. Isaiah 2:17. And the haughty of men shall be humbled, and the pride of men shall be brought low, and the Lord alone will be exalted in that day. Their partiality witnesses against them. They proclaim their sin like Sodom, they do not hide it. Woe to them, for they have brought evil upon themselves. Tell the righteous, it shall be well with them, for they shall eat the fruits of their deeds. And woe to the wicked, it shall be ill for him, for what his hand has done shall be done to him. Isaiah 3:9. Isaiah 3:12. My people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, your leaders mislead you and confuse the course of your path. The Lord has taken his place to contend. He stands to judge his people. The Lord enters into judgment with the elders, the princes of his people. It is you who have devoured the vineyard, the spoils of the poor in your houses. What do you mean by crushing my people, by grinding the face of the poor, says the Lord God of hosts. Isaiah 4:1. And 7 women shall take hold of one man in that day, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own clothes, and only let us be called by your name. Take away our reproach. Woe to those who draw iniquity with cords of falsehood. Isaiah 4:18. Isaiah 4:20. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness. Woe to those who are wise in their own eyes and shrewd in their own sight. And woe to those heroes of drink wine and valiant men of mixed strong drink. Isaiah 5:23. Who acquit the guilty for a bribe and deprive the innocent of his rights. Behold, the day of the Lord comes. Isaiah 13:9. Cruel with wrath, fierce anger, to make the earth a desolation and destroy sinners from it. From the stars of the heaven and their constellations will not give light. I will punish the world for its evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will put an end to the pride of the arrogant and lay low the haughty and the ruthless. I will make men more rare than fine gold, and mankind than the gold of Ophir. Therefore I will make the heavens tremble, and the earth will shake from its place. Isaiah 24:1. Behold, the Lord will lay waste the earth and make it desolate, and he will twist its surface and scatter its inhabitants. Isaiah 24:5. The earth lies polluted under its inhabitants, for they have transgressed the laws, violated the statutes, and broken the everlasting covenant. In that day the Lord is hard and great and strong sword will punish Leviathan, the fleeing serpent, Leviathan, the twisted serpent, and he will slay the dragon that is in the sea. In that day a pleasant vineyard, sing of it. I, the Lord, am its keeper. Every moment I will water it, lest anyone harm it. I guard it day and night. That was Isaiah 27:1. For this is Isaiah 27:11. For this is a people without discernment. Therefore he who made them will not have compassion on them. Isaiah 28:7. These also reel with wine, they stagger with strong drink. The priest and the prophet reel with strong drink, and they err in vision, and they stumble in giving judgments. Isaiah 28:11. Nay, by men of strong lips and with alien tongue the Lord will speak to this people, to whom he has said, this is rest, give rest to the weary, this is repose, yet they will not hear. Therefore the word of the Lord will be to them precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little, they may go and fall backward and be broke and snared and taken. Therefore hear the words of the Lord, ye scoffers, who rule this people of Jerusalem, because you have said, we have made a covenant with death and with Sheol. We have an agreement. When the overwhelming scourge passes through it, it will not come to us, for we have made lies our refuge, and in falsehood we have taken shelter. Isaiah 31. Woe to the rebellious children, says the Lord, who carry out a plan but not mine, who make a league but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, who set out to go down to Egypt without my counsel. Isaiah 34:2. For the Lord is enraged with all the nations and furious against all their hosts, for he has doomed them, has given them over for slaughter. Jeremiah 4:27. For thus says the Lord, the whole land shall be desolation. Yet I will not make a full end for this, the earth shall mourn, the heavens above will black out. For I have spoken and I have proposed, and I will not relent, nor will I turn back. Jeremiah 5:1. Run to and fro through the streets of Jerusalem and look and take note. Search her squares and see if you can find a man who does justice and seeks truth, that I may pardon her. Jeremiah 5:4. Then I said, these are only the poor. They have no sense, for they do not know the way of the Lord and the law of their God. I will go to the great, and I will speak to them, for they know the way of the Lord and the law of their God. But they all alike had broken the yoke, they had burst the bonds. Therefore a lion from the forest shall slay them, a wolf from the desert shall destroy them. Because of their transgressions are many, and their apostasies are great. Jeremiah 5:30. An appalling and horrible thing has happened in the land. The prophets prophesy falsely, the priests rule at their direction. My people love to have it so. But what will you do when the end comes? Jeremiah 6:13. For from the least to the greatest of them, everyone is greedy for unjust gain. From prophet to priest, everyone deals falsely. They have healed the wound of my people lightly, saying, peace, peace, when there is no peace. Were they ashamed when they committed abomination? No, they were not ashamed. They did not know how to blush. Therefore, they shall fall among those who fall at the time, and that I punish them, and they shall be overthrown. Jeremiah 6:16. Thus says the Lord, stand by the roads and look and ask for the ancient paths where the good way is, and walk in it and find rest for your souls. Jeremiah 12:4, because men said he will not see our latter days. Jeremiah 23:10, for the land is full of adulterers, because of the curse of the land mourns. The pastures of the wilderness are dried up. Their course is evil, their might is not right. Both prophet and priest are ungodly. Even in my house I have found their wickedness. Thus says the Lord of hosts, do not listen to the words of the prophet who prophesies to you, filling you with vain hopes. They seek visions from their own minds, not from the mouth of the Lord. They shall continue to those who despise the word of the Lord, it shall be well with you. And to everyone who stubbornly follows his own heart, they say, no evil shall come upon you. For who among them has stood in the counsel of the Lord to perceive, to hear the word, or has given heed to his word and listened? Behold, the storm of the Lord, wrath has gone forth, a whirling tempest. It will burst upon the head of the wicked, and the anger of the Lord will not turn back until he has executed and accomplished the intents of his mind. In the latter days you will understand it clearly. Jeremiah 23:33. When one of these people, or a prophet or priest, asks you, what is the burden of the Lord? You shall say to them, you are the burden of the Lord, and I will cast you off, says the Lord. Jeremiah 25:29. You shall not go unpunished, for I am summoning a sword against all the inhabitants of the earth, says the Lord of hosts. You shall prophesy against them. The Lord will roar from on high, and from his holy habitation utter his voice. He will roar mightily against his foe, and shout like those who tread the grapes against all the inhabitants of the earth. The clamor will resound to the ends of the earth, for the Lord has an indictment against the nations. He is entering into judgment with all flesh, and the wicked are put to the sword, says the Lord. Jeremiah 25:32. Thus says the Lord of hosts, behold, evil is going forth from nation to nation, and a great tempest is stirring from the farthest parts of the earth. And those slain by the Lord on that day shall extend from one end of the earth to the other, and they shall not be lamented or gathered or buried. They shall be dung on the surface of the ground. Wail, ye shepherds, and cry and roll and ash, ye lords of the flock, for the Lord is despoiling their pasture, and the peaceful folds are devastated because of the fierce anger of the Lord. Like a lion he has left his covert, for their land has become a waste because of the sword of the oppressor and because of his fierce anger. Jeremiah 28:15. And Jeremiah the prophet said to the prophet Hananiah, listen, Hananiah, the Lord has not sent you, and you have made this people trust in the lie. Therefore, thus says the Lord, behold, I will remove you from the face of the earth. This very year you shall die because of your rebellion against the Lord. Jeremiah 30:24. Fierce anger of the Lord will not turn back until he has accomplished the intents of his mind. In the latter days you will understand this. Jeremiah 48:47. Yet I will restore the fortunes of Moab in the latter days. Thus says the Lord. Ezekiel. Because the land is full of bloody crimes and the city is full of violence, I will bring the worst of nations to take possession of their house, and I will put an end to their proud might, and their holy place shall be profaned. When anguish comes, they will seek peace, but they shall be none. Disaster comes upon disaster. Rumor follows upon rumor. They seek a vision from the prophet, but the law perishes from the priests, and the counsel from the elders. And the king mourns, and the prince is wrapped in despair, and the hands of the people of the land are pallid by terror. According to their way I will do to them, according to their own judgments I will judge them, and they will know I am the Lord. Ezekiel 12:24. For they shall be no more any false visions or flattering divinations within the house of Israel. I, the Lord, will speak the word which I will speak, and it will be performed. It will no longer be delayed, but in your days, O rebellious